Hey guys, Brough here from the RMX Academy. I'm here with Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and I'm here to teach you guys when you should be sitting or standing through a rut. So when I teach in RMX Academy, a question I get asked a lot is when to sit down coming into a rutted corner. That's kind of a tricky question as there's a lot of variables that go into it. Breaker bumps, kinks in the rut, things like that. So as you can see, we have this big deep rut behind me. Let's go down and check it out. All right, so as you can see, I'm down here in this right-hand corner, and behind me there's this nice smooth rut with a nice curl, super inviting to just lay the bike over and rail through it. Coming up to it, there's some chop, there's some breaker bumps. The biggest thing that I want to talk about today is to stand up through all that stuff. A lot of people have a tendency to sit down really early. When you sit down in breaker bumps like that, you're locked to the bike. So when the bike moves up and down, your body moves up and down, and your balance is thrown off as you try to aim that front tire towards the rut. If you can stand up through the breaker bumps, the bike can do its thing, move up and down, and the body can stay planted on the foot pegs and get that front tire to settle into the rut. Okay, so as you can see, I have this stake here. A good drill that you guys can do is take a stake, some type of marker, whatever you can find, and set it at the last breaker bump, just after the last breaker bump. That'll give you a good visual to pinpoint where you can sit down. Obviously, if you're at an open public practice, you're not going to be able to stick a stake in the middle of the track, but try to find some marker that you could maybe stick off to the side of the track or something, or if you're riding all by yourself, you can put something out into the middle of the track after the last breaker bump to give you that visual of when to sit down. Now, a big question, like I talked about, was when to sit down. No matter what, no matter how deep the breaker bumps go into the rut, you want to stand all the way through the breaker bumps. Like I said, if you're sitting through a breaker bump, your body's unsettled, you're gonna lose your balance, your whole corner is gonna be thrown off. This changes from corner to corner. There's not one set answer to this question. It's not sit down when your front tire hits the rut, sit down here. It varies. So if there's any type of kink in the rut or hole in the rut, anywhere past the stake that I have behind me, you're gonna wanna stand through all of that. If you're sitting down and you hit a kink or kind of a square in a rut, it's gonna unsettle the bike. The shock's gonna compress too hard, and then it's gonna rebound, your butt's gonna come off the seat a little bit, your whole corner's done right there. So you wanna make sure you stand until you're done with any type of bumps or kinks or holes, and then sit down and accelerate. So like I said, big rule of thumb, make sure you stand through all of the breaker bumps, no matter how deep into the rut they go. So the last thing I wanna share with you guys today is actually when not to sit down. As you can see, this rut is very smooth, it's nice and round all the way around. But towards the end of the day, the track gets rougher, there's start to develop some holes or some kinks in ruts. Sometimes they're not bad enough, you can still sit through them without offsetting your balance or your momentum or anything like that. Sometimes they get so deep that you hit a kink and it stands the bike up, everything goes bad and your momentum is lost. In cases like that, you want to stand through the entire corner, never even sit down. You see some top pros do that all the time. It may look slow, sometimes smoother is faster, so that's something to practice. A good drill you guys can do to practice that is when you're at the practice track, do 5 or 6 laps standing up around the whole track. Don't ever let your butt touch the seat. Take the seat off if you have to, and that'll really get you the feel of standing through these deep ruts. All right guys, so thanks for watching this video on when to sit and when to stand through a deep rutted corner. If you liked this video, check out the Rocky Mountain ATV MC YouTube page, and to learn more about RMX Academy, go to rmxseries.com and keep an eye out for our next camp date.